So this is Thank's dad's shop. For Palma. I'm going to be walking home and thought you'd enjoy to see what that looks like for me. It's food. Now this is going to be an adventure. This is life. I am eventually going to try to figure out the best way for me to get back to Petchaburi, the road I live on. I haven't done this enough to be very familiar with it. This is kind of a back area that's mostly Indian, and there's a big market that goes on back here, especially during the evening hours. You can't get much of a sense of that right now. I'm going to try to zip across here. That didn't matter much. But I'm coming up on a side street that will get me to Thanon Petchaburi or Petchaburi Road. One of the many 7-Elevens here. Yeah, this is going to get me where we need to go, I think. These would be motorcycle taxi drivers just sitting around waiting for a ride. Pretty dead soy, which is unusual. Okay. Massage. There's a hair place, actually. Bag shop for mom's many purses. Tattoo parlor. Lots and lots of tattoo parlors in Bangkok. And actually pretty boring soy. It'll get a little more lively when we get to the end of the soy to Thanon Petchaburi itself, which I've already filmed for you before. It's the street I live on, but it's quite a ways from home, and there'll be lots of street vendors when we get up to the end of the soy. To my knowledge, I have never been on this particular side street. The Connect Hotel. Never heard of it. I just came back from getting my hair cut at Thank's father's shop. It's kind of hard to explain, but that little side street where his shop is located is actually really small, and there's not much there. And he just moved his shop to that location. I'm a little bit worried about, you know, how they're going to make ends meet, just because there's not a lot of foot traffic. Nobody accidentally is going to go down that little side street, because it really doesn't go anywhere and there's not much else on it. So there's the Church of Christ I didn't know was here. And that's interesting because we're not terribly far from Emmanuel. At the end of the soi, you'll see a large building with an arch kind of in the glasswork. And that is Pantip Plaza. It is a gigantic technology store. Think of, well, it's not really like Best Buy, because it's full of many little tiny private shops. If you want to buy a laptop, you can go to one of maybe 40 or 50 different little shops in there that sell laptops. And anything that you might imagine that you would want in terms of electronics or technology can be located there at Pantip. It is busy, just packed with people all the time that it's open. A small restaurant. Now we're getting back to where things are going to get pretty busy. You'll notice, if you haven't already, that there are motorcycles everywhere. You don't have to be here very long to figure out why. The traffic is so bad that the only way to get around efficiently, really, is on motorcycles. And it's interesting when you get to an intersection here in town at red lights, there will be backed up dozens and dozens of motorcycles. So here we are. This is Petchaburi. See the broom vendor? Handmade brooms. Okay. This is Pantip Plaza, the big building here. And as I walk up Thanon Petchaburi, which I've done before for you, there'll be lots and lots of food vendors and fruit vendors. And I'm going to stop at a small store a little farther up the street and get some things to take home. But this will give you, another look at the street where I live. The gal is selling juice and snacks, little small coin purses and things, all kinds of stuff, about anything that you can imagine. More of Mom's purses. In a few hours, this will be wall-to-wall people. You won't be able to move around without bumping into other folks. There's shrimp on a stick, little meatballs on a stick, various kinds of fruit juice, And here's a little small restaurant. Notice that it's completely open in front. And most of them are. They have kind of like a garage door, and when they close in the early morning hours, they just pull the garage door down. That means that for those of us who are walking down the street, you get a wonderful smell of all the good things that are cooking. There's a place that specializes in seafood. There's crab. That guy grilling fish, chicken, and sticky rice. This is a fruit known as durian. Durian is considered, there's fried bananas. Love fried bananas. Durian is considered the king of fruits. And it smells horrible, absolutely horrible, but it tastes really good. No, thank you. So, I don't know if you could see the guy trying to get me to hire him. He's a tuk-tuk driver. Get me to hire him to take me on to my destination. There's a brand you don't see often in the United States anymore, but you sure see it here everywhere. Playboy is a major, major brand in Bangkok. I think probably most of these motorcycles are the drivers, delivery drivers for this pizza place. Pizza company is probably as good as anything in Kansas City or the U.S. We do have Pizza Hut here, but I almost never use it. I always go with Pizza Company, so I like it better. Flip-flops and more purchase for Mom. And I'm in this Taylor's. I think some folks here are getting ready. It is clouding up. And some folks are putting tarps and things out for in case it rains. Here's another stop for taxi drivers. You know a taxi driver immediately because they wear these orange vests. There'll be lots and lots of folks on motorcycles, but if you see one wearing an orange vest, that's a taxi driver. I'm getting pretty close to where I'm going to stop and go in and get a few things, but this will be pretty similar to the video I put up last time. Hope maybe you'll see some things you haven't seen before. There's some chicken, and so up ahead is, we're getting very close. The next corner is where you turn in to go to church, and then I don't think you can probably see it, but off in the distance, it's awfully bright. Off in the distance is my condo. I'm probably, maybe 200 meters away from the condo, but I'm going to stop at a little kind of a convenience store and get a few things for the weekend. So that concludes our little tour today.